All right, let's talk about a piece of technology you probably have within arm's reach right now. And no, I'm not talking about your phone. I'm talking about paper. It's so common, so everywhere that we barely even notice it. And yet, its invention was one of the most revolutionary moments in human history. Seriously. I mean, just think about it. We live in this digital world, right? It's all screens and pixels, and yet paper is incredibly persistent. It's in our books, our coffee cups, the shipping boxes on our doorstep. So why has this ancient technology managed to survive? What is its secret? Okay, so let's get into it. Let's really dive into this story. To understand why paper is still so important today, we have to go way back to a time when it didn't exist at all, so we can see the exact problem it was designed to solve. Just try to imagine running a government, sharing a scientific discovery, or even just writing a letter with no paper. For most of human history, that was the reality. People were desperately searching for a better, more efficient way to record their world. Before paper came along, the options for writing things down were, well, they weren't great. You had bulky, incredibly heavy strips of bamboo. You had silk, which was beautiful but ridiculously expensive. Or you had animal skins, which were pretty fragile. Civilization was practically crying out for a material that was light, cheap, and could actually last. And the solution, this revolutionary idea, came from ancient China. And this wasn't just a minor improvement, This was a complete game changer that would go on to reshape the world. The key figure in this part of the story is Kai Lun. Around the year 105 CE, this court official developed and documented a method for creating a much more practical version of paper, basically setting a whole new standard for writing materials. So what was this miracle material? Get this. It was a pulp made from the most ordinary things imaginable. Mulberry bark, hemp, old rags, even fishing nets. The genius here wasn't just in the ingredients, but in the process. They were turning waste into something incredibly valuable. The result was a material that was light, cheap to make, and just perfect for writing on. Now, an idea this powerful couldn't be contained, right? But its journey across the globe wasn't instantaneous. It was the slow, centuries-long diffusion of knowledge, as different cultures shared the idea, adapted it, and perfected the technology. And when I say slow, I mean slow. From its invention in China in 105 CE, it took over 600 years for papermaking to reach the Middle East, and from there, another 4 centuries or so before it finally arrived and took root in Europe. This was a marathon, not a sprint, for sure. And here's where it gets really interesting. As the technology spread, different cultures made it their own. They put their own local spin on it. In Japan, you got washi, made from mulberry bark. It wasn't just for writing, its strength and amazing texture made it a key part of art and even architecture. Meanwhile, over in Europe, they perfected paper made from cotton rags. This created a smooth, durable surface that was absolutely ideal for the age of printing that was just around the corner. It's a fantastic example of global innovation. So paper was already changing the world, making governments more efficient and spreading knowledge. But then it collided with another invention, creating this powerful combination that sparked a true information revolution. Even before printing, the impact was huge. We're talking about being able to produce more books, even by hand, a wider circulation of scientific ideas, the creation of efficient legal systems, new canvases for artists. Paper really laid the groundwork for a more connected and informed society. But really, this was all just the opening act. The stage was set, the material was ready, and then, in the 15th century, an invention came along that would amplify the impact of paper exponentially. And that invention was, of course, Gutenberg's printing press. When cheap, mass-produced paper met movable type, the world was never the same. Suddenly, books weren't just for the ultra-wealthy. But it was about so much more than books. Think about the Protestant Reformation. Martin Luther's ideas didn't spread by word of mouth alone. They spread like wildfire on cheap, printed pamphlets that anyone could read. This was the first time an idea could go viral, bypassing the traditional gatekeepers of information, like the church and the state. Literacy just exploded, and not just for the elite, and it fueled the Renaissance and the scientific revolution. This was the pairing that truly democratized knowledge. Which brings us right back to today. Paper survived the printing press, the radio, and television, but can it survive the internet? Let's take a look at its next chapter in our digital age. While reports of paper's death have been greatly exaggerated, it's still a cornerstone of education and publishing. But maybe its most exciting new role is in packaging. In a world that's desperately searching for sustainable alternatives to plastic, paper is finding a powerful second life. However, our continued reliance on paper comes with a very 21st century challenge. The environmental impact of producing billions of tons of it from virgin wood pulp is a serious problem, and it requires some very innovative solutions. And the industry is innovating once again. The path forward looks like a three-pronged approach: managing forests sustainably, maximizing recycling to create a circular economy, and researching new alternative fibers to reduce the strain on our forests. So the future of what paper is made from is this dynamic blend. We're moving towards a model where recycled paper makes up the bulk of it. Then you supplement that with innovative fibers from sources like hemp and bamboo, and only a smaller, more responsible portion comes from those sustainably managed forests. So what's the key takeaway here? Paper isn't some static, unchanging thing. It's a technology that has been in a constant state of evolution for 2,000 years, from a simple sheet for writing to the backbone of global logistics and, who knows, maybe even smart paper in the future. And that brings us to our final question. This story is not over. As our needs change, as our technology advances, and as our environmental awareness grows, paper will have to adapt once again. The only question is, how will it reinvent itself next?